After the putlo-lizard shed a tear that Prigozhin was a man of difficult fate, but talented, it became clear to everyone who caressed the bald playboy in the sky of the Tver region. Could the baldhead keep silent? Certainly, but he specifically delivered this speech, emphasizing, "Yes, I did it. Who else is against it? And it would be okay." They applauded the bald man, but no. The carcasses of the Wagner terrorists are quite sincerely mourned by the majority of deep hunters. They hoped so much for Prigozhin's sledgehammer of justice that they seriously alarmed the jealous Putlo, who realized that the masses had stopped loving him and were ready to throw themselves into the arms of the impudent hero who had brought dinner yesterday. The rat does not forgive this. It was necessary to urgently put in the place of the rebellious Surovikin executive Afzalov, who dispassionately carried out the order. Everyone who stood behind Prigozhin bit their tongues. The bald-headed Führer showed that his alliance with the Ministry of Defense is strong, and there are enough air defense forces for everyone. The Kovalchuks, after all, also fly private jets, just like Prigozhin. And they can also be dropped from a height of 8,000 meters. The overexcited special opposition was also deprived of a new bald icon, for which they suddenly began to pray, like a savior, all sorts of paganologists and bulkheads. Yes, and the furries are embarrassed. Their beloved Romeo left him only a sledgehammer, with a hint of rebellion, as a legacy. But who will lead him now? Prigozhin was a harbinger of chaos, but now his exuberant skull lies in the mortuary, and a funeral howl stands throughout the cave. And anxiety is creeping up because of flying drones in Moscow, Kaluga, Belgorod and other regions. Not to mention the constant explosions in the Crimea, where the mothers fell into a trance and do not come out of it. But Ukrainian DRGs are already entering Crimea, disturbing the carcasses of the invaders. Recently, they flew to Simferopol, where the 126th Brigade of Rashists is based, scattering fragments of bodies around the district. On Friday, Crimea was attacked by 42 drones, causing a rustle so that daddies also got pretty. Of course, Budanov notes a temporary shift in the liberation of Crimea, but in essence this does not change anything. The peninsula will be liberated, if not in August, then in September to October. Everyone is tired of the war, and Ukraine will be pushed towards negotiations. The question is with whom? No one will sit at the same table with Putin, because the price of his word is known. He even cancelled the security guarantees for his gangster Prigozhin after 2 months. And what to talk about with him? Therefore, the cave system is logically preparing for a change of portrait. Everything that is happening now is a smokescreen of propaganda so that no one will guess the true intentions of the players. Putin enters the next electoral fascist cycle with militant trump cards, starting a total purge. All who are not ready to swear allegiance to him will be squeezed out or destroyed. The rat face of Sobchak is already shining with eyepieces, hinting that after Prigozhin, the last owner of a private army, Kadyrov, is next in line. And Patrushev at this time howls about the need to protect the population from the pernicious influence of the West, demanding to cork the last windows of Google and YouTube. Everyone must submit to the idea of unity of command, unity of mind and unity of mind. In an ecstatic impulse, the cave should plunge into a deep patriotic ass, where it will die out, at least until 2030, and at the maximum until the death of the leader. The problem is that even within the gang there is no consensus anymore, and the split is getting worse. This was not the case in 2018. Then everyone understood that Putin would stay for another 6 years, and this reality was not discussed. And now a serious part of the elite looks at the gun carriage as a real deliverance from the total nightmare that is approaching either from the Kremlin or from the bunker. Yesterday's accomplices are already tired of understanding the authenticity of the ringleader, who appears before them either as a banquet or as an Udmurt copy. The figure of a hybrid legitimate phantom, isolated from the world and offended by the progressive West, isolates the country in its own image and likeness, and will crap wherever possible. Living Putin is corpses and war. Dead Putin is negotiations with the West. It is clear that neither Ukraine nor its allies will accept any conditions of the lost cave, but will say harshly, "Get out of Ukraine and start paying." And in response to any rashist wishlist, they will only increase the payment bill. But for the system at least there will be a chance to survive. Under Putin, this will be an unprecedented slow catastrophe, with painful asphyxia from a perverted maniac. Life and power for Putin are identical concepts. The rat won't go anywhere as long as it's alive. And she's not sick. She can only be killed. The same sledgehammer of cave justice left as a legacy from Prigozhin. The main thing is not to miss.